Guess what time it is? It's time for the Over the Bar podcast, where we talk and you listen, or not.
Let's do this now.
All right, everybody, this is Carman Zieman with Over the Bar podcast, and my guest today is Huck Galbraith.
Galbraith.
All right.
Galbraith, yeah.
How you doing, Huck?
Good. How are you?
I am a bit rushed all over today. We had some technical difficulties, but I think we've got them all sorted out.
Well, good.
So let's start off with, Huck, you're the mayor of Enderby.
Guilty as charged.
How did you get there?
I ran, and the folks in the city of Enderby elected me.
What made you decide to do that, though?
I had, I would say, many people that know me, friends. I was working at Central Hardware at the time. I was very boisterous about, the mandates and the lockdowns and all this.
So that you were elected in 2022?
2022.
Okay, that was just right in COVID, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, there was some doctors and nurses and healthcare practitioners that approached me because I wasn't bashful about speaking out.
Speaking out
against those things.
against the mandates and
Yes.
So were you? I know people are going to hate the fact that we're actually hashing over
Going
COVID
back
again,
over there, but
I mean, it's something that needs to come out, right? I don't know. So you were against the mandates, now just the masks, or you were against the forced injections, I will call it?
lockdowns, the whole thing. If you go back in the fall of 2020, pretty sure you can still look it up. There's called the Barrington Declaration.
Okay.
Anybody who doesn't know it, they should have a look at it.
I will make sure that we put it up in the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So truly experts from around the world, you name the places, it's on there, like Oxford, Harvard, all those folks, all took a year's worth of data on what this virus was already, and just said locking healthy people down is a bad thing.
Absolutely. I agree with that, yeah.
So I'll just leave it at that. But there's a lot more to it, right? Because the shot hadn't rolled out yet.
Okay.
In the fall of 2020.
So this was the catalyst to get you. So you were speaking out in front of people saying that you didn't believe in this, and these people are now coming to you. Well, you should run for mayor. Or?
It's not that I don't believe in it. It's just if experts around the world were put a study out to the governments of the world, saying, you need to protect the elderly and the frail, the people that were not healthy, that first and foremost.
Right.
That
yes.
should have been the big direction of our attention. And then the data that they had, the natural course of the virus with healthy people, you get natural immunity. Well, everybody heard Bonnie Henry say on live TV, no such thing as natural immunity. There's a few other lies, and as soon as you start spouting off lies, I'm just like, okay, now I can't take any of what you're saying.
That's really funny that you would say that, because Dr. Bonnie Henry, who was the supposed to be our guiding light for this whole pandemic, came out one day and said, for those of you that don't believe it, you should follow the science. Well, that was a rabbit hole that I never thought that I was ever going to go down in my life, but I did. I went straight down that rabbit hole, and I'm with you on that one. There was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a big part of it. I'm not bashful about speaking truth. Okay. Even if it might get me in trouble.
Which is good, because the only people is getting you in trouble with are the ones that don't have your views. And I think all us people as human beings have the right to voice how we feel and what we think of a situation.
Well, especially in Canada, right? So, and silencing people that were experts in the field also didn't kind of resonate with me very well.
Dr. Robert Malone.
How can some people that were experts a month ago, and then all of a sudden they said, well, okay, look, I've looked at a bunch of this information, your science, and, I contradict what you're saying to the governments, as an example. And then all of a sudden these people are nut jobs.
Right.
but
right, and losing
overnight
losing their medical licenses
and
because,
losing their jobs
yeah.
and losing their lifelong heartfelt, professions
So this was the catalyst to get you to run for mayor.
It was
Enderby.
It was part of it.
Okay.
Right. So so there was a bunch of people saying, we need to make sure we have honest speaking people, right? Because there was so many places that were like, well, we all have to conform and we all have to give in, and it's just like, in the old days, my dad was a World War II vet, right? So in the old days, that would be like, no, you actually have a moral obligation in this country. If something's wrong, especially if your government's trying to push it, you need to stand up, at least say something.
Which yes, I 100%
that's what
believe
I've
that, yeah.
gotten from my upbringing, right? So
Okay.
that was also part of it. So and so I ran, and I had lots of help. I had friends and family, and
won by 54%. It was a good number.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So obviously people were liking what you were saying.
Even though I didn't know too much of the political aspect of anything, right?
Yeah, so that's the next question.
Yep.
What was your political background at all?
Zero.
Zero. What were you doing at the time?
Working at Central Hardware, right?
And
So
there-
building supplies, contract sales. Yep.
And just out of the blue, he said, yeah, I really don't like what the hell's going on in this world, so I think I'm going to run for mayor of Enderby and see if I can change something.
Well, you got to remember. So, and Jackie from the River Talk, when she asked me that
Right.
same question, and I said, well, my friends, and they were saying that I should run. It'd be a good thing. And she said, I'd second guess if they're actually your friends and trying you to run for mayor. She was joking around, right?
What are they trying to throw you into, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. So now you got one more year to go?
Got a few more months to
Few
go.
more months?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think?
October this year is re-election or
October 2020,
Yeah.
26. Yeah.
yeah.
So how have you liked it so far?
It's been great.
Has it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you find out right away that you can't really do too much because the province dictates
So enlighten
big
us.
time to the municipalities, saying, especially depending on which government's in power at the time,
Okay.
it seems like more and more they feel like people need to be governed and told what to do.
So
And they need more government employees to make sure that they can tell you what to do and how to do it.
Too much government, yes.
Yeah.
So you as the mayor, can you give us an example of something that you, I guess, wanted to try and do and the province said, no, you can't do that? Is there an example in there you can do? Or because really, if most people are like me, I have zero idea what kind of, what the position of a mayor of a small town in British Columbia actually
Right.
gets to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can't think of anything in particular. There was a couple near the beginning where, so first and foremost, mayors are one of a council, right? So there's just one vote out of, 5 or 6 or 7, depending on how big the city is or municipality, and that's how many councillors you would have, right?
Okay.
So a mayor can't change things. Although some get in and think they can, it doesn't work that way. So that's...
So it, as an example, you're one vote, so something's coming before city council. It's mayor can't go, yeah, no, we're doing that, and veto everybody. You're still just one vote in that city council.
Yeah, no vetoes, nothing like that.
So then what's the primary job of a mayor? When you got elected in, what, did they send you a book over to the side and said,
No,
this is what the mayor of Enderby can do. This is what you can't talk about because these are our nuclear secrets or our
yeah, no,
like that?
there's nothing like that. We all swear an oath to, for lack of a better way of saying it, we're all in this together. When we make a decision, even if somebody may have opposed it in a council meeting, and we've had discussions about it. Once it is decided, and whatever that outcome is, you don't go back, and you don't say, oh well, Carman said yada yada yada, but I said blah blah blah. It's like, nope, So we voted, it passed. That's how it is, and we support each other going forward. And Enderby's pretty lucky. Found out pretty quickly, like, there's a very small staff that's been at City Hall for a long time, and they do an excellent job. There's lots of communities that are dysfunctional because they're always turning over staff. You know, we're very lucky we have good ones. So that's a big part of it. And the council's really, really great. We're very like-minded. It's all about, you know, what's best for the community. And, you know, we have different views, which is important also.
Absolutely.
And then we can actually table them and still go and have dinner afterwards and talk about something else, right? It's like, it's a really, that part of it is really good.
Okay.
And I think most of the municipalities are like that, but there are some
they're going to have difficulties too.
Kamloops.
Sure. Yeah.
Just throw it out there.
So in your 3 years that you've been doing this, you got a highlight or something that you walked into a grocery store at some time and somebody approached you and it was...
Well, we get, you know, we've gotten some letters and stuff from some of the kids and younger people in the community. It was always great going, you know, we like that you know, did this or the Christmas parade or, you know, different things like that are always awesome to hear. Highlights, I always kind of go to the fact that I was told, you know, when I was running, we went door to door, had a few people help me with that. One of the biggest things was having the lab open from 3 days a week.
You're talking the health lab.
The health lab on the highway there on George Street. And we only had one doctor and I think one nurse practitioner at the time. I can't remember, one or two. So, you know, the big thing was the lab. It wasn't working. You had to make an appointment. It was only 3 days a week.
So was that because of funding from the province?
Well, I don't know what's behind the scenes at provincial health, right? But
it's interior health.
It's interior health in this area, but I mean, overall, the big
right.
papa is, BC Health, and then...
So BC, the provincial government dictates to interior health, this is what your budget is this year, and then they try and divide that up and give that to like the labs and stuff?
Yeah, I believe that's kind of how they go about it.
For the amount of the hours they got to staff it for and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you managed to fix it and get it from 3 days a week to...
I'm just saying, when I was running, that was the top two things was like the lab and then physicians to cover the people in this area, right? Okay. Many people were without a physician, and I want to say it was like 3,000 plus 3 years ago.
3,000 plus
in this area in our community that did not have a physician.
Okay.
Right. So within the first year, so that first 9 months, I had a town hall meeting. Mm-hmm. The topic was kind of healthcare.
Good thing, yeah.
I had some conversations with Interior Health and the folks directly connected with the facility here in Enderby and such, and you know, wanted them to come and tell us about what you just asked me about, right? Like what's going on? How can is there something we can do as a community to make it better, and express my views, of course, because I never hold anything back.
I learned that the other night when we were talking.
And so it was. It's good to know that a lot of the folks in Interior Health are also of the same mindset. But when you need your job, sometimes you got to make sacrifices, right?
Right.
And you do what you got to do. But I want to say that I do honestly believe that speaking up, the more people hear somebody speaking up, the more they feel they're not alone, mm-hmm. and then they're okay with speaking up as well. Because then
now you're part of a group, and you don't feel like you're going to get singled out, right?
Yeah. So I'm just like, if there's some way that we can bring people that didn't follow the mandates, Enderby would surely love to welcome them back in, if that helps. Things like that, right? Yeah. Which I know it isn't going to fly, because I talked to like Susan Brown, who's now retired from, she was a COE, whatever, the chief administrative person for BC Health.
Okay.
So I had a couple discussions with her. Very set in, she's following the science from the
Let's
province.
Just
and
step back just a little bit
so,
here. So
sorry,
to get,
I digressed.
That's okay. For us to get nurses and doctors in here that didn't follow, I just want to clarify if I understand what you said there. If they didn't follow the mandates and stuff, we were trying to get them back in if they wanted to. Is that
you can't, because they dictate, right? But
let me elaborate on that specific point right there. So in 2026, or this was in, what year was this you had this meeting with them?
Would have been 2023.
2023. So at 2023, they were steadfast about letting anybody back in. Do you know if that attitude has changed anything in 2026?
Well, if you remember when EB, the last election, provincial election, there was what they called, he finally kind of caved in and lifted the mandates.
Right.
But not totally.
Okay.
I mean, people aren't really aware of that either, because they want to really follow what they're doing. If you're a healthcare worker, are you all up to date on all your
They're still
things?
asking for that?
Oh yeah. Anyways, that's another whole story. But
So as far as you know, in 2026, they still have some rules or regulations against bringing back some of the healthcare workers that didn't follow the mandates?
I don't think it's that blatant, but it's like, yeah, you can come back. We just need to make sure we know if you have or haven't
been
proceeded with certain protocols, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Which is kind of falls back to the very beginning part when they were saying, we need to be able to, I always said, well, you can get, if you got a medical exemption for something, nobody can ask you about it, right? If you declare, so like going into a store and you say, look, I don't have to say, but I got asthma, right? So I can't wear a mask. You just have to say, I have a medical condition, I can't wear a mask. Now the businesses, because everybody's like, well, we're in trouble, we're going to get fined, thrown in jail if we don't do this. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, it doesn't hold up in court. The law is you as a business owner would say, okay, I accept you at your word, come on in, right? Or you say, no, we still have to follow this guideline, so we're going to say no, sorry, right? Mm-hmm. But there was no ever conversations like that. But it was just funny
that you had to have this damn green card to say, "Hey, I've been vaccinated. I'm allowed to come into your store, or your restaurant." Yeah.
So as long as you got a life jacket, you're protecting everybody else. That was also another kind of funny thing.
What a crazy time that was! Eh? Absolutely nuts.
Yeah. So I did digress quite a bit there. So going back, so within that first year, the lab did get open 5 days a week, mm-hmm. and it wasn't just by appointment only. You can do walk-ins. And since
you can do walk-ins from 7 till 9.
Yeah, there's certain hours, right?
Other than that, you can make an appointment.
Yeah,
right.
But you can make an appointment as well.
And that was because of that discussion at the town hall.
I don't think it was a discussion at the town hall. I think it was discussions behind the scenes, and I don't want to. I'm not very good, and you can ask my wife. I'm not very good at tooting my horn or anything like that. And it's like. But I will say that I do honestly believe that God does guide my every step. Yeah. Has for a long time. Well, all my life. I just didn't realize it till later. Mm-hmm. And that was part of the reason. And that was part of everything. And being able to get in front of people and speak something. I've had people that call me crazy freedom fighting guy and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, well, freedom's not a bad thing to fight for, so I'm okay with that.
I think freedom's a great thing to fight for, and we're getting less of that, less every year. So that started with the town hall meeting. Yep. Led you into a conversation to get the clinic open, so 3 days a week, 5 days a week. Now, I also believe, for the people that live in this town, you did another great thing. Now, I don't know if it was just you or if it was a collaboration of everything, but we now have 2 doctors and 2 nurse practitioners?
So there's 3 nurse practitioners. There's 2 doctors, and that's at the health clinic on the highway at George Street.
Okay.
So that's in interior health. I did meet with the newest doctor that came on board when he was trying to. So again, I had I was talking with the folks in interior health, and they're like, well, okay, well, there's this physician looking for a small town in BC. He's narrowed it down to a few places.
The physician was actually looking for a small town.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, from Kenya. And I was just like, any chance I can meet with him? And he said, well, Darren said, yeah, well, I can ask because it's not a normal protocol. I said, well, I think it should be, right? And then, so got to meet with him. We had a Saturday afternoon with his family. I want to say at least 3 hours or so talking, and it was good.
And which doctor is that?
That's Husni Abdallah.
Husni Abdallah?
Yeah.
And he works out of the health...
The interior health clinic on George Street.
That's the same building where the lab is.
Where the lab is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's one doctor, and we have another one now?
So Mufulu was there before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he still a doctor here in town?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I think he lives in Kelowna or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's not right in town here, but yeah.
So that's 2. Is there another doctor that's come in too?
There's a new one that's Splatsheen First Nations at their health clinic.
Okay.
So they have a director over there that's that has a new doctor there. So there's a nurse practitioner there as well, and then the new doctor. And it's it's a slightly different setup that he's got there, and that new doctor Kim Edie, female doctor, she's accepting new patients, or she started in January. So she's now, I think, she's up to 250 or so patients.
Oh, wow.
The cap is, I think, like 1,000 for doctors.
So is that part of the whole thing that you did, or was that something that Splatsheen did on the side and they brought them in, or was that part of your negotiations or
no
conversations?
So all what I can say is again, when I was being, how do you say that? When I was kind of promoting it, so to speak, is like, we need to get more physicians and we need to, do more in the community. And I did have a meeting with Splatsheen and Council at the time, way back at the beginning, saying, this is the plan, this is my goal, this is my thoughts on what's going on and how the future can be. And when Dr. Abdallah kind of came into the view, I made sure I kind of let them know what was going on as well. And when he came and he's now the doctor, I said, this is for everybody, like in this community, right? Like when I say that, I don't mean it disrespectful. And I say that to Kupi and to Meepla when I'm speaking with them. It's like, I feel we're all part of it, right? We're in this together.
You're talking about Splatsheen
and Enderby and Area F.
Yeah.
I've always viewed it
as just one community. For sure.
We're kind of right. So it's like, and we now, when I say that, when I'm speaking to Splatsheen Council, we now have another physician, right? So I think that kind of got the pot kind of stirring, and it's like, well, we can go get stuff too, right? And yeah, they got a good guy at their medical clinic, and he can probably bring in some more doctors, but we need a bigger facility.
So they've got at Splatsheen, they've got the new doctor Kim
Edie.
Yeah, and they have a practitioner nurse there who we've actually seen.
Yeah.
And now you said there was 2 other practitioner nurses in town?
In interior health.
Interior health.
Yeah.
Located in the health.
So there should be 4 NPs and 3 GPs.
So I don't know, maybe you can put some insight into this. What is the difference between a nurse practitioner and a doctor? Because I don't...
Not much.
Not much.
And it's just weird because I think it's not in every country, but and don't quote me on this, of course. Don't quote me on anything, by the way.
No, we're just talking.
The in BC for sure, maybe Canada. If you're an NP, you can work with a mom that's pregnant and with child, but you can't deliver the baby.
Okay. So
As
that
weird
would
as
be
that sounds, right?
But they have midwives that can do that. But are midwives legal or not? I don't know.
Now you can have you can have a midwife. They can be there to deliver the baby, but it still has to be done in a hospital setting or with that other element in place.
Okay.
So it's kind of strange in my mind. But hey,
Everything's run the way it is for a reason, or because somebody has said this is the way we're going to do it.
yeah.
So I guess after that, so those are definitely some kudos for you for being able to, get the ball rolling to make and get this happening, which is awesome. So what's going to happen in October? Everybody wants to know. No.
Yeah.
Are you done with it? Have you had your stint with it? You're going to maybe run again? Not sure yet?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So at this moment, I know it's not that far off, but it seems like a long ways off.
Yeah. Did you find that it took up a lot of your time, like too much time, or you're good with what it is? Because it's a great, I want to say a hobby, but a great way to get out in the community. And because I've seen, because as you say with Google, I did go through, and you've been in this area for 40 years, and you've been heavily involved in community stuff throughout that time.
Well, I don't know about heavily, but
I don't know. ChatGPT seemed to think you were heavily involved.
Yeah,
so.
did do a little bit of coaching and et cetera when the kids were young.
Okay.
So
coaching,
like hockey and ringette and that kind of stuff, right?
So you're a family man, wife.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 5 kids. How many?
So there's 3 kids and 9 grandchildren right now.
Wow.
So
9 grandchildren.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm very jealous right now because I don't have any. We haven't got there. So awesome. So you got to take that into consideration too if deciding whether you're going to run again.
Yeah. And I did have, again, I have friends. Thank God for that, and family. And I did have a chance to speak with, I want to say, is Colin Mays. So in Salmon Arm, he was an older mayor, and I think he even ran and became an MP or whatever at some point in time.
Okay.
Anyways, I had a chance to speak with him before I decided to run. Or
the last time.
Yeah.
So now you're going to wait and have that conversation.
Three and a bit years ago, and because I was like, nobody tells you anything. There's no information up front. Like, what does that mean? Like what? Like you asked me earlier. What do you got to do? What's the book, right? You can't read a mayor handbook. No, there isn't a mayor handbook. But Colin said, you know what? You put into it. You get out of it what you put into it.
Okay.
So if you want to put in 20 hours a week, you're going to get 20 hours a week out of it. Or if you put in 10, it's 10. You put in 2, it's 2.
So when you ran last time though, you said you came in because there were some things you wanted to do. Health was one of them.
Yep.
What else were you after doing?
Well, that was the main things.
That was the main one.
That was the main ones on the top of the list, and
okay. Has there been anything else that you've done that nobody was expecting that maybe I don't even know about? Because
again, not really. Like I said, we're pretty lucky here that we have excellent staff. We have excellent council, and everybody works together. I mean, we have excellent community as far as like, there's a lot of volunteerism. There's a huge amount of support in different areas, and thank God we got the Lions here and stuff like that. It would have been nice to try to get to. There was a lot of people asking for a covered or a year-round pool. And I know the money, because talk to the staff, is like, five or 6 times the cost of what it would have been. And
they're into the building of this pool, the replacement pool, and that's going to be an outdoor pool, obviously the same as it was in summer. Are they putting a water park in there too? Yeah,
so all that's getting revamped. There was a big ask recently, a study, and went to the schools and different shareholders and stakeholders, and just looking for some input back on what they want that park to look like in the next 20 years.
Okay.
So we're just in the throes of figuring all that out as well. So that's
to add on to that area, or
well, just if you can, just think about that old pool. You know, if you had your say in what you wanted to do in that park, what would you do? Right.
Okay.
You got a new pool.
Yeah.
Now you need some parking because there wasn't enough parking with the old pool. You know, the old play park and all that kind of stuff is pretty outdated, and it's not the best. The old pool, something has to happen with that.
Well, did they not? They took the old pool right out, right?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet? Okay.
No.
So what are they doing there? Just putting the infrastructure in to then decide where they're going with it?
No. So the new pool is going to be where it's going to be, and part of that ask from the community and their input back on, you know, what they would like that park to look like 20 years from now.
Okay.
Or what we need, right? What are the needs?
Right.
So there was some, of course, and I've known about this for quite a while, is a proper skate park, right, for the kids.
Oh, that's coming too, or they're discussing it? Oh, it is coming?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, that's going to make a lot of kids happy, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think us old guys are going to get out there and do much skateboarding.
Not me.
No, I don't think so. But it's good for kids, absolutely. That whole area seems like, because we drive past the pool all the time, it's right on the highway.
Yeah.
It always looks quite busy in the summertime.
Yeah.
So what's your so coming in, getting close to the end of your term and stuff, and you're now trying to decide whether you want to do another term or not. If you were to run again, what's your vision for Enderby? Like, what's the overall vision for council and everything? What are they trying to do? Like, what do we expect to see from our political leaders here in town? Or the wishes of them, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I can speak for everybody on council. There is a.
Okay, so let's make it easy. What's your vision?
Well, I would say we're very keen on. You know, there's been some development in making more events and making, you know, more things happening in Enderby, and I think that's also a big push. We're all kind of for that, and you know, that's what we hear from the folks. They'd like more stuff, right?
More community events,
more things that the kids can get to and do. You know, so there was the basketball collaboration with Splatcheen and Area F that we were trying to get that rolling as well. Because at the community center at Splatcheen, they got a collegiate rated basketball court in there, right? Like
inside
I
call it the big round building.
Yep.
Okay. Didn't know that.
But yeah, for me, 20 years from now, more amenities, but I really do think there is a possibility for a health hub with the Splatcheen Health Center there, and that could grow and be something that would add value to interior health. It would take some of the stress off the hospitals. We can get some more things in there that the community needs, like Splatcheen and our like Area F and Enderby. And there is a way forward with that. So if that and an indoor pool, year-round pool, that'd be cool.
I like that. Not that I ever use it because I'm getting too old to do that anyway. But awesome, good for you. So, but now all this infrastructure and stuff that we're talking about, doesn't that come? We just might switch.
Nope, that's good.
Hang on here.
Switch.
Does a lot of the money come from the province or the Canadian government at all? Like, as Enderby, do you get to apply for stuff for them? Do they say that, you know, based on your population, we'll give you this kind of money to do this kind of stuff, or are we just out on our own and doing our own stuff?
Right. So
if that made any sense.
Yeah, I think I kind of get what you're trying to get to there. So I think we quite often always think that it's like some sort of other pot of money, whether it be federal, provincial.
Federal was the word I was looking for.
Right?
Thank you. Yeah.
And it's like we all pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
It's all our money. It's kind of there, or hopefully it's there. I don't know what some of these guys running the show these days.
What they're doing with it, right?
But it should be there, and we should be able to get some of it back. It's just, it's almost like, whoever has the squeakiest wheel will get some grease on it, right? Kind of a thing. Again, staff in Enderby is really good at, applying for, pleading the case for grants and funding of, whether it be low interest, whatever it is, right? So,
Right.
So there's money there that does help, can help. I still believe, I haven't looked lately, but Enderby in like about 160 some odd municipalities the first year I was in there, we're in the bottom third or whatever for taxes compared to amenities and things like that. So I mean the tax rate's pretty low for the area for what we're getting, and I do believe that we're getting more, right? And we're expanding, we're growing more, working well with Area F, and Splat Sheen is a big contributor to everybody in the area, right? So.
Any idea how our friend from the south there has been affecting our economy here in town? Yeah, that's the orange-haired guy who was called Mr. Trump. Has there been anything with the tariffs or anything like that has been affecting the city around here that you've heard of from any of the businesses and stuff?
I haven't heard of anything specific. I don't know of anybody who deals south of the border, but I'm thinking there are a couple.
So you also work at Cedar
Solutions.
Cedar Solutions.
Yeah.
They have any issues with they don't send their stuff south?
Nothing south. No.
Nothing south.
No.
Okay.
He's just in Canada here. So.
Okay. What about the other mill here?
North Enderby Timber.
Yeah.
They export.
Do they?
Yeah.
Anything from them coming from management there to you as the mayor going, hey, what's the hell? Or does that go up to the provincial and then federal levels?
Yeah, that's a little more provincial.
Okay.
I did reach out to Corey and Benita in regards to like a couple of years ago when it seemed like they never had any logs in the yard. I think it was like one of the worst looks we've seen in there for quite some time.
Oh, they're fully loaded now.
They are now.
Yeah.
So,
which is good because that's a pretty big employment base for around here, isn't it?
Yeah. So there is a provision, I think, provincially there where you can apply for like a one-off. I forget what it's called. So if you explored all your other avenues of trying to go and bid and get logging on a section or whatever that is, you can actually apply as like an emergency thing and get a one-off. So I mentioned that to them. They weren't aware of that.
Oh, good.
Lots of people aren't. So
that's a whole nother. Well, that takes. I've had some very brief conversations with people in the logging industry and stuff like that, and how it's controlled, and that's a whole.
Yeah, a whole other world.
That's pretty crazy, the stuff they have to go through, especially a small mill like this trying to bid on these lots and stuff.
Right.
It's crazy. So, we should probably leave that one alone because, yeah, I don't know. Politics nowadays, it seems to have gone a little bit crazy in our country, especially with our present Liberal government and the stuff that are having going on. Although I think it's getting better marginally with Carney. I'm really hoping that sometime real soon here we're going to be forced into another election. But with what's going, he only needs one more for the majority, and then we're in trouble, I think, more so than we are now.
Right.
So let's leave politics for a round, away for a little bit.
Okay.
So there's kind of like when we do these podcasts, it's kind of like, let's get to know who everybody is, right? So Huck, what else do you like to do? Do you hobbies?
Yeah. So I mean, I try to golf a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Do
there's,
you get out often?
there's always the intention, and it just doesn't always
Well,
happen.
hopefully
right?
we can get you out for men's night out at Maple Lake then this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's always a lot of fun.
Sure.
So golfing, what else you like to do? What's important to you in your life? Like
Well, I mean, family.
family?
Yeah. Family, community, country.
Country?
Yep.
You want to go down that road?
No, but I'm just so, at my little level here, yeah. So
Yeah.
family and communities kind of first and foremost. I'm still working full time. So that's been an ongoing 47-year thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's one of those things we have to do. Hey, unless you're a politician, then, I don't know how much not a local politician, so
No.
let's not go there. But if you're federal, oh my God.
Or even provincial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't, yeah.
Although, 120 grand a year, I think that's roughly about what the provincial rate is, somewhere around in there.
For the prime, or the,
Nope.
just for
MLA.
MLAs, 120 grand.
Yeah,
a year?
I wanna
So
say-
Mel Arnold, who
He's an MP, so that's
MP.
federal.
federal, okay.
He's up there. I haven't
Did you ever
looked.
get to talk to him? I thought we were
Oh, yeah.
getting away from politics.
I don't
You
know
were
what
right
happened.
back at it again.
Yeah, I've talked to Mel quite a bit. I want to say at that federal level, $250,000, three. It's up there. I can't even
Wow.
remember last time I checked, but Canadian Taxpayers Federation is a good organization.
I do follow them quite a bit, yes.
That'll give you the straight goods on that.
And that'll keep you up late at night, too. You'll wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning with boiling blood and yeah.
Yeah. How can billions of dollars in taxpayers' money go to these guys who have all their expenses and everything covered in a really nice retirement fund?
A friend of mine who's been on the
That's
podcast a
extra
couple of
and above.
times, Craig Williams, he brought to my knowledge one time when we were doing a podcast that there's an art fund or an art bank for the federal government. And if you're an MLA, you can say, well, and say you're decorating your office or whatever, you can get that piece of art out of there. The government has paid for it. And these are not cheap pieces of art.
Yep.
And I can't remember, he said the rent is charged. He writes the rent off to, it's something like that. But we end up paying for that at any
Everything.
rate.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nuts, the perks that they get. So I tend to try and not think about it too much.
Yeah.
Because as
Yeah.
a small business owner, as you probably well know, or
Yeah.
working with them guys, the tax man comes after is huge.
Oh yeah.
And when you find out your money's being spent on artwork so that an MP or an MLA or whatever you want to call them can decorate his office,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
That's enough to piss you off.
Fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mel Arnold's he's been at it quite a while, and he's a good guy. Spoke with him a little bit.
Mhm.
And then back to the other stuff is, so I've been in the construction industry for quite a while. So
Right.
I that used to be part of it as well. If guys wanted,
I've noticed there's not a lot of building going on as there was prior to, let's say, 2020 in this area. Or is that just, I'm not seeing it?
Yeah, I would say in the last couple of years, there's been a definite peel off, like the last two for sure, maybe even a little less.
It's got to do with the interest rates, I'm assuming.
Well, interest rates came down a bit, remember?
Now, yes.
Yeah, but
But when they were hitting 6 and 7%, I think that probably was a little bit difficult for the
that was a little.
contractors.
That was definitely part of the puzzle, I think. I think just overall, there's pockets where speculation for building is good in the province.
Mm-hmm. And we are not
But-
one, because what's our vacancy rate here?
Everybody's pretty much in need of rental
More rental.
for sure.
And isn't that the federal government giving out, like forgiving taxes or something for them to build X number of units as long as they rent them at below market rate or something?
I don't know about that.
No?
That was you're talking about the provincial that provincial thing that EB came out with, or whoever the guy was came out with that, and yeah, that kind of fell by the side, as well as like their recent, again, that mandate telling all the communities they have to build more, and based on your community, you need to build this much more.
That was mandated by provincial government?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just FYI.
And did you say, okay, you guys giving us more money here or what?
Well, that was the thing. It's like, okay, every community is struggling with, infrastructure that they didn't really calculate for the forefathers before us when they were running, or like, I always use this thing, right? It's like, so that 2-inch piece of PVC pipe, or now let's pick on something even worse, 6-inch or 8-inch or 10-inch, that was like a couple bucks a foot is now like a couple $100 a foot. Nobody thought about that, right?
Right.
So replacing infrastructure is like huge, and all the municipalities are all struggling. They're either past the point and need help upgrading just to hold the line, and then the province says, "Oh, well, you need to have another whatever 5,000-10,000 more people," and about your infrastructure.
But how do they mandate? Okay, Enderby,
because they have a majority.
Yeah, but how do you mandate it? You can't go to the city of Enderby and say, okay, you guys need to build 20 apartment buildings.
Oh, and so I think Vancouver. So recently, just in this year, I think the city of Vancouver. I want to say it's like, so that's pretty big down there, right? You would think, and it's pretty heavy NDP voting population. They're like, nope, sorry, throw us in jail or fine us or whatever you think you're going to do next. But it doesn't. It can't happen. It's not going to happen.
So this is part of EB's stuff where he says, we're going to build you more property or more apartments, and everything's going to come down, which is all bullshit, because now they're just mandating the little towns like Enderby. You guys got to build this. Yeah. If you don't build this, what happens if you don't build it?
You can get fined. You can get thrown in jail.
The provincial government can fine.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me if I am really stuck for a lack of words here right now, but that's pretty That's absolutely ridiculous. How? So then, I guess as a
but they've recently just pulled all that back in now, right? They've had to wheel it back in.
Okay.
They're saying, okay, we'll have to rethink this
because we can't afford it.
Yeah, the square peg does not go in the round hole.
Oh. So election promises, we all know, are all bullshit for the most part for provincial and federal. So we definitely know that.
Usually.
So do you see a bright side coming for Canada with the position we're in right now?
Well, it seems like you mentioned earlier that Carney's kind of adopted some of the Pierre's suggestions to Trudeau for the last however many years, and nobody would even acknowledge what he was saying, right? So it seems like he's picked up a few of those, and they're kind of running with that ball, and that's helping. I've always said all along that there's going to be better days ahead. The pendulum has swung so far to whatever bad side of where it was going. We just need to make sure that enough people stand up and run, get elected, that swing the pendulum back to the other way. Like less government, would be less costly, would be less taxes, would be more investment from people outside the country going, oh, well, that looks like a good place to set up shop and have some employees, and right? Just true. All these little things need to kind of come together, I think. And
well, the one thing that I'm conservative through and through, there's no doubt about that. But when Carney was elected, and I guess this is probably and some people are going to hate me for this, but I see Carney more kind of swinging into the middle. He's not as far he's left as Trudeau his government was.
Yeah, go back 2 years before he was even, when he was just behind the scenes as an advisor.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of people bring that up too. They say, well, you were advising Trudeau, and look what you've done to our country. You've kind of ruined it.
Yeah, but
so how do we trust you?
Yeah, I don't.
I have this fight with all these people all the time because 100% I'm Pierre Poilievre. When he runs again, he's got my vote. But I don't care how anybody votes. What I do care about, and this is a conversation I had with a gentleman, I won't mention any names, but he was in my shop, and he thoroughly was through and through a conservative because our views were the same, all this, but he refused to vote for Poilievre because of his looks.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I couldn't believe that. That's just That just dumbfounded me. So now, on that election, you have helped us throw us back, elbows up. Well, elbows up didn't work either.
No.
When it comes to Mr. Trump, everybody, and that's why they said, well, he was the financial advisor behind Trudeau and stuff, so let's bring him in and give him a chance, because being a banker and being the financial advisor, he should be able to work with Trump. Well, shit.
Yep.
And now we're coming into Kuzma. The only thing that's going to help us right now with Kuzma is this war that's going on over in Iran, which I don't know if you have any views on that, but that's a pretty sad situation too. So I don't know where we're going.
I'm not a war person. I'm not a, so there's not a whole bunch of things that I remember vividly when my dad would say something, Yes, there is. But one of the things was like, so I want to say like in the 1980s, he's just like, Huck, don't take this wrong, but I hope you don't enlist Canadian Armed Forces. I don't see where any of it's worth what anybody's fighting for. Like it's like.
Well, the scary part is in 1980s, because we were young men back then. We probably. My dad was not in the war. He was born during the war, but he was definitely joined. He was part of the Canadian military. Served out of Calgary with I think it's Queen's Own Arms or something like that. He was stationed there. We possibly could have thought about it back then. What the hell is going to happen in this world today with the way that we? I got to be careful here. The woke society that we have at this point, do we even have a military? Could we even get a military? Who can get a military right now? Is this just Canada that's so screwed up, or is it the United States too? Like, I see the States has a big army. I don't see people lining up to join the Canadian Armed Forces. I don't know if we have that in us anymore, or not us as you and I, but as a young 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds. Would they go to war? So your dad was probably right. What's left in this country to fight for? Or do we have the balls to do it?
Yeah.
Do we want to be the 51st state? Do we want Alberta to separate and become its own country? There's just so much going on in the world right now that it just boggles the mind.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of...
How do you get through it all?
How do I get through it all? Well, I try not to. I'm not on social medias and things like that, so I don't have that, which is a blessing. I have faith, so that's my biggest thing.
Faith
I got
is
going
your driving
for me.
force.
If I didn't have the...
No, I'm assuming you're not talking about faith in Carney, but faith in somebody else.
I have faith in God and Lord Jesus. So
okay.
I pray, and it seems like sometimes my prayers get answered. So
do they?
Yeah. Got another doctor in town.
You made a comment.
Got the lab open. I could go on.
You made a comment the other night about. There's going to be one person ruling sometime soon, you think? A world ruler?
Not in my lifetime, I hope. But that's part of the predictions. If you want to get into some predictions,
predictions from like Nostradamus or
biblical. Well, Nostradamus actually, but we know where he got his source from, right? Where everybody gets their source from.
Actually, I don't with Nostradamus.
Oh, okay.
Where do you get it from?
Scripture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just kind of funny. So this just came up recently in something a sermon I was watching or something, and the mention of, there was many predictions. Christ had a few, and they've all come true so far, right?
Now, did they actually come true? Or is that interpretations of how you interpret
actually come true?
Okay.
Yeah. Dead Friday, rise Sunday. And when everybody says, well, that's up for debate, it's kind of like, I always pick on this one. So if you had like the population of Enderby, like say 3,000 people, and there was something that happened just like that, right? Somebody was getting crucified, 1,000 of those folks came out to witness it, right? And half of them seen him rise again on the third day. Many of the historians at the time, pretty much all the historians at the time, didn't believe in Jesus. They were Greek, Jews, and Roman historians. All wrote the same thing. People that didn't believe in it. So, see, we had good news reporters back then, right? They reported the truth,
not the fake
even
news
though they didn't like it.
Yeah.
And so I always use that as like, so they had a perfect opportunity to say no. That was his biggest one, right? He said, "You'll see me again," right? And the other one, like when we told the Jews, like, Jerusalem will be teared down. There will be not one stone left upon another. 70 years later, that's exactly what happened to that temple. I think Rome came in, took every stone apart, demolished the whole entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
I could go on, but anyways.
No, that's so. But I was quite interested in the comment you made the other evening about there's going to be one person running it, and we don't know whether we're going to like it. So I'd like to elaborate on that one just a little bit.
Some people are going to love it, and there's some people who love it right now. I've heard from. Unfortunately, it's usually some of the younger folks that go, yeah, just bring on this. What's it called? Equal payment thing, and all that kind of jazz.
Universal basic income.
Yeah, and I don't really want to own anything. I just want to be able to use stuff or live somewhere and just not have to worry. And right, it's just like.
Well, what did the Liberal government just do here not too long ago, where they're sending out checks? And I can't remember exactly what it's called, but as far as I'm concerned, that is the beginning of our universal basic income. They're testing the waters.
Oh yeah, it's come up in a motion several times now, like over the past, I don't know, half a dozen years or something. I can't remember.
An motion in Enderby?
Oh no,
okay,
at the federal level in Parliament.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You had me worried there for a second. They were sending out memos going, "Hey, let's start doing this." No bullshit. We can't. Like, how does anybody ever going to think that they're going to be happy not owning anything? We are old school, absolutely. We've worked hard to get to where we are in our lives, to get to what we have, what we don't have, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And you get to a point where you look around, me as an employer, I can speak to that one, hiring people nowadays have zero, and I won't say everybody, but the good percentage, majority, maybe not even more, but a good percentage have no work ethic, none whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So those are the ones that are going to be, oh yeah, universal basic income. I love that. Yeah. But they don't understand. You'll never, how does that even work? How do you go on a vacation to Europe? How do you go on a vacation to Mexico when you're on a universal basic income? Mm-hmm. You'll never be able to afford a plane ticket. Yeah. What are they going to do? Make one of those magic boosts like they have in Star Trek and zap you from here to there?
Maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, sore spot with me. Universal basic income. Bullshit.
So I don't know what they would honestly on the inside, how people like that feel or think, right? So you look at...
Is it a lack of motivation for some reason?
So here's another thing that I kind of heard recently, and it resonated as well, and it just kind of ties into this. But, look at all of what's wrong with the world, right?
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But, if you go back to the beginning of scriptures in Genesis, right? God created. He did this work on this day and it was good. He did this work this day, it was good. He did all this work. He worked. He created. He worked. You see where I'm going with this right now?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then he creates man and woman, right?
He screws it all up.
We
he
did.
Should have stayed with the mice and the...
we did, but he wanted like the crowning glory of his creation, and that's what we're supposed to be. But we're also created in that image of a working God, and we are meant to work. We are meant to keep the garden. He said, "Here's everything you need. Mm-hmm. Keep it." Right?
Absolutely, but that's not going to happen with universal basic income.
So when you're not working, how does that? You deep down inside, you know it doesn't help you. It doesn't help you mentally. Look at all the. Go back to what's wrong with the world. Look at all the things that are wrong in the world, And I'm going to say, without a doubt, it's because the world keeps turning away from the Creator and all that we're instructed to do. And
I will agree to that to a point, but I also think it's got a lot to do with the way that the kids are brought up. Now, maybe you're right. Maybe religion.
Not religion.
No, okay, your Creator. However you want to put it.
Because there's the gospel of Christ.
Okay.
And then there's everything else. All other religions fall into a different category. Just FYI. Because that's the only one that's different from everything else.
I'm definitely not versed enough to have a conversation with you, for sure. My point was, I think that the reason that we're heading in the direction that we are is a lack of parenting. Let's call it that. A lack of motivation because they think it's too hard to get somewhere. Your analogy of, well, I'll just use it. God worked hard, created. That's gone. People don't know how to work hard anymore and create a life for themselves. Now they're all looking at these liberal or these, not just liberal but democratic governments, and they're going, you owe us. We don't owe you shit. Government owes nothing. They actually owe us some explanations of what the hell they're doing. But they don't owe us. They shouldn't be sending us a paycheck every month. You should get off your ass, go out and work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. But I do believe that there is still a large amount of folks that are wanting that and needing that and will do that. And
but now we're about to smack dab into a segment of the population that wants to have those checks sent to them every month, and a segment of the population that wants to work hard. What are they going to do about that? How do you make that definition? Who gets the universal basic income, gets to sit at home on their ass and not do anything? Is there stuff that comes along with that says, okay, if you're going to get this UBI, you must be part of society? Want to go weird? Let's go to Star Trek and that society where it's governed by a body of people, not by one person, but by a conglomerate. Could be China, could be all these countries get together and decide, okay, let's make it a better place to live. But you have to do something to be part of society in order so that you don't have to pay. Universal basic income, they're just giving you money to sit on your ass and do nothing. How do we do that? We can't. It doesn't work.
Oh, I know. Yep. You already have that governing body. That's called the UN, isn't it?
The who?
The UN?
I don't know. Do they allow me to sit at home on my ass? I don't think so. I still got to go to work on Monday.
They're the ones pushing all that agenda, right? That's all part of this whole thing, right? And
the United Nations is. Yeah. I thought there was more of a.
Careful.
United Nations was more of a humanitarian or. Which one has got what's the army? That's NATO. Sorry, so that's not the same thing.
No.
So I don't know. What's your view? What are we doing? Where are we going?
I'm just saying, like, it's back to that same thing. So
I don't think God can come in and fix this, though, dude.
No, it's not his thing.
Okay,
it's our thing.
So you mentioned who is going to be this guy that's going to come in and rule it? Let's go down. I'll go on your side. Is this the guy from down below that's going to come up and rule?
I didn't bring my Bible. I guess I should have.
Well, I thought you would have known it off by heart by now. Come on, buddy.
Not really. So it's in Revelations, but it's also in like Matthew and those scriptures as well, because they were asking when they finally realized when he said, I will go, but I will come back. I go to prepare a place for you, and the new kingdom to come, I will come back to gather you. And he said, well, when is that day? Right. And he goes into a little bit of explaining what those days will look like. But in Revelation, it kind of nails it down. And yeah, there's supposed to be at some point somebody who brings peace to the world. Peace to the world. And
so is this going to be a good peace, like something that's going to be good, or is it going to be something we're all going to hate because we have no choice? Right.
Yeah. So, and it's also said that, no man shall buy nor trade or whatever without the mark of the beast in your hand or in your forehead.
So we're talking. So, and if
you don't, you're you're given the option to accept it. So that's part of you can call it basic universal income or whatever you want to call it, right? Mm-hmm. There's many countries that already have that chipped stuff in them. You don't even have to buy anything. There's no people in the stores when they go into the stores. Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
Okay, so people walk into a store either with cameras and facial recognition or with their chip, and they grab the stuff. Well, it's with their chip as well, right? So they say, okay, here comes Carman. Oh, look, you put that and that and that in his back, and he walked out. And ding, ding, right out of your bank account.
It scanned everything.
Just like
out.
that.
Yeah.
So it's already there, and it's been around for a long time.
They're using that a lot in China, right? Is that not where they're using it? I've seen something about it, yeah.
Yeah, the video I seen was it's over in the UK. There's a couple of countries, and
Oh, really?
Yeah, like 40,000 people went, and as soon as it was available, went and got chipped or something. Mine was just like, what the hell
So what happens if you don't want to get chipped? Then what happens?
Then you don't get nothing. Then you have to fend for yourself. So how much property you got here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So here's a question.
Right?
Bill C9. I'm not going to go back onto politics here, but Bill C9
sounds like politics.
Well, I think it's going to kind of field into people got to see where this is going to.
Yep.
Bill C9 is basically going to give the government the ability to arrest you if you speak badly about the government. So this is where they can slide this shit
what you just said, so I'm going to report you.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And in China, they really promote it as like, if you even report me, we're going to give you some extra coin.
Yes, I have seen that as well too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is going to actually blend into the UBI because now they can talk about all they want. And if we backlash against it, being the minority,
you'll get picked out of the crowd.
So we all end up in a position where we're under the rule of one guy that's going to promise peace for the world, but we are going to hate it. A lot of us will.
There'll be some that love it, I'm sure. Like I have 100%
well, sure.
conviction.
Anybody who gets free money is going to love it, or gets free stuff.
Yeah, or
love
just,
it.
Yep.
But as soon as you are now forced to do something like that and to obey, for lack of better words, the man.
Yep.
The man.
The man.
Before we were talking the man is the government. Now we're talking the man.
The man.
The man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Prince of the air is what he's called.
Prince of the what?
Of the air.
Air.
Prince of this world. Huh. Right? This is his world.
So I guess that would be the Antichrist that everybody was talking about in Nostradamus and all the predictions and shit like that. Yeah. That could be Trump. If he gets himself another, if he changes the laws so that he becomes King Trump, I think we're all screwed. Yeah. Here's a question. How does one man become the most powerful human being on a planet? There's a good question for you. None of us can answer that. I know that.
Yeah. Because it's the largest
economy
bunch of money, economy, all that kind of stuff, and they've gone around and bombed the shit out of anybody who doesn't comply and take whatever they want and need, and they just carry on, right?
But
call it for whatever they've been doing. It's been going on for thousands of years,
right? Yeah.
In the name of the king, in the name of the queens, and this country, you guys are doing something wrong, so we have the right, and away you go, and then take whatever they want, the rubber trees and yada yada, and you move on until you find the next civilization you want to wipe out. And
something's going to change. Absolutely, there's changes on the horizon. Whether it's a good change or a bad horizon, or a good change or a bad change, I don't really know. Huck, thank you for joining us today. It was fun.
Okay,
that was some crazy shit we talked about. Cheers, buddy.